Bang. Coach Minzy. Best round here. Remember that. Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy. Best round here. Remember that.
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. So we are here to do a quick review on what took place with the Reggae Boyz versus Haiti. Wow, it was a display that could be one for the records, yeah, because the Reggae Boyz fought from 2-0 down to pull off one of the, you'd call it, highly likely result from this game. Yeah. So we have to big up the Reggae Boyz on what they did in this encounter. But there are some stuff that we still need to discuss where the team is concerned. Yeah. I think for some people there are a lot to be desired. For some, I don't know. But it was a good thing to see the players actually, forward and pull off that. And it came with a little luck. I've been telling you people that luck is in sports and luck is in football. And you were talking as if I'm talking nonsense, but there you have it. The Reggae Boyz actually pull off. And it really tests their character and showed character from them, because it is a situation that they have never found themselves in, except the game against Mexico when the Mexicans scored early. But there was no answer from the Reggae Boyz, and that was in the Gold Cup encounter. So that in itself, basically put us in a situation where we lacked character. But this time around, you could see the fight, you could see the press. We lack creativity in the final third of the field. We weren't able to find a way through, create some punches so that we can, pass through that brick wall, so to speak, that the Asians set up. But again, luck was on our side. All you need to do is to shoot, and you never know, something might happen, because that goal that Demarai scored, it was just an aimless shot going wide. But because it was a shot at goal, then mistakes happened from the defense. It was turned into their own goal. The second goal to equalize was a situation where, to me, that was, I could not see that as a clear handball. And someone who was at the match really have to tell me if that really hit the player's hand, because it seemed as if the player turned his back. But of course, the laws of the game is kind of change up, But people, like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you're new, so that you can become a part of the Coaches Desk family. Yeah, so we want to weigh in on what took place last evening. I think it's character, but there are some things that were evident that I didn't like, and I'm certain a lot of you did not like it either. But let's see how we can really look through this. But dancehall entertainer Aidonia said something about the team, and it is something that we have been saying for quite some time. And again, football no play on internet, football no play on YouTube, but people out there who have been avid football fans for years can come and say, uh, this is what the team needs. And it is just regurgitated what we have been saying here on the social media platforms. Um, I mean, what he said though, it wasn't that bad this time around in this game against Haiti. We just lacked creativity up front where we were not able to put the ball in the back of the net. We weren't able to create that slice that defense. Yeah. But whatever happened, happened. And we have to big up the Reggae Boyz for that fight back. So I want to show you what the entertainer said. Big up Jason Ferran. What the entertainer said about the team. All right. So sort out the midfield. Aidonia reacts to Reggae Boyz performance. Calls on JFF to do better. This is a big deal now, no people. This is a big deal. Because to have somebody saying what we have been saying, it just JFF, it goes to show that what we have been saying, don't take it lightly because other people have been watching. Some of them just might not say nothing. We get a lot of call. You understand? Rob Smith, a lot of people could ask you the same thing about your credentials on football. You know? A lot of people might ask me about my credentials on football. Remember, when you come on to the fans, you don't really need any credential to talk football. You watch football over the years, you have some level of understanding of the game. And that doesn't mean that you can't voice your opinion about the game. Yeah? So let us hear what he has to say, people.
In I side, brother. Una stress right now. Una frustrated right now. You see me? Una give Leon Bailey them too much work for do. Una give Gray them too much work for do. The ball can't come forward. I be a long kick and this and that. Una not have no midfield. Seeing una start bag a man in the midfield. Jamaica, one name JFFR one name. Una need to start out this football squad. Seeing? Hear that? No midfielder there in our side, brother. Una stress right now. Una frustrated right now. You see me? Una give Leon Bailey them too much work for do. Una give Gray them too much work for do. The ball can't come forward. I be a long kick and this and that. Una not have no midfield. Seeing? Una start bag a man in the midfield. Jamaica, one name JFFR one name. Una need to start out this football squad. Seeing? Hear that? No midfielder there in our side, brother. Una stress right now. Una frustrated right now. You see me? Una give Leon Bailey them too much work for do. Una give Gray them too much work for do. The ball can't come forward. I be a long kick and this and that. Una not have no midfield. Seeing? Una start bag a man in the midfield. Jamaica, one name JFFR one name. Una need to start out this football squad. Seeing? Hear that? No midfielder there in our side, brother. Una stress right now. Una frustrated right now. You see me? Una give Leon Bailey them too much work for do. Una give Gray them too much work for do. The ball can't come forward. I be a long kick and this and that. Una not have no midfield.
All right. So we hear it, people. We hear it. 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 I played it multiple times for people to listen carefully and take out basically some of the things that they believe he said that are true. So Rob Smith, him say long ball. You agree with that? You don't need no much credential if it's a long baller player. Midfield, we don't really have no midfield. Albeit this game, in the 80 game, the midfield was way better. And as I said, it was first game jitters for Casey Palmer, Rob Smith, because we know his quality. But it was first game jitters. I remember me telling you, it could never be the field. You know why? Because the field could never be improved significantly to what he plays on in Europe in the span of a few days. So it could never be the field. Never. The field was horrible, of course, but it could never be the field that the midfield played so much, so bad, so horrible. It was as a result of first game jitters, debut jitters for Casey Palmer. And people might have different opinion, but that's what I believe. The first game, because he play much better upon a field that get better since the first game in play. You get what I say? So a first game jitters Casey Palmer went through. You understand? So the fact is that the midfield never so bad for the second game. We still don't have a lot of creativity in the midfield, but I think one of the things that we have been lamenting over the period is that too many long balls and the midfielders have been bypassed for too long. You understand? That me I talk about. Them bypass the midfield. And me, boy, I don't know. It's either the pattern of the team, as Rob Smith said, look like it's a counter-attacking team. So you try to hit the ball long to catch players out of position and run at them. Yeah? That are the only way I can say it. Because this bypass a midfield thing no look good at all. All right, so that is the situation with the Reggae Boyz, and the artists share these views. Rob Smith probably can link him up on Instagram to find out why I'm credential. I don't want to know. Because a lot of us in the chat don't have no football credential. You get what I say? Just a fun of sharing views. All right, Chavan Piet, big up yourself. Fresh got in the building. Big up yourself, Fresh. Skip, big up yourself. Listen the man, them come back and tied the game, showed character. Yeah, man, of course. People, also the phone line is open and you're free to call in tonight. You are free to call in to the show. All right. Big up the Fresh Capo in the building. Rob Smith in the building. So big up, coach. Hope you had a good night. Sleep and don't come back with the rubbish you were talking last night. What rubbish I was talking last night, Rob Smith? Explain that to me, Rob Smith. Me just catch up on a comment. What rubbish I was talking last night. Blessings to everyone in the chat. We actually played a good game. So we play better and draw. And we played better and almost lose. The performance wasn't good, but I have to give credit to the comeback. The team will get ironed out. Some players need to be benched. Rob Smith, come now. Declare the rubbish when me did that talk last night. Because, all right, hold on them. I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to wait I'm going to wait to see what you say. So me can decide if I say this what I want to say. We actually outplayed them it was no errors that caused the goal, but we showed character and got back into the game. No errors that caused which goal, Siobhan? Coach, there's so much thing as luck. There's no such thing as luck. When I coach youth, I tell them luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. So why you tell them it is luck and there's no such thing as luck? As technique skip, yeah, move a goalpost there. There's no such thing as luck. When I coach, I tell them luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. So why you tell them luck is preparedness meet opportunity? So of course it is luck. Come on, man, you give them a definition of luck. Fresh God, if we were the team playing on the counter, them would have said we can't control the game. Come now, Rob Smith, more you what you say rubbish from me attack, you know. I still don't understand how local coaching come in the argument last night. One thing I realized that most these man watch 5 teams in the league and think them know football. We didn't lack creativity, we missed chances. We lack creativity, Rob Smith. What was the creativity in the middle of the park? When we reach up at the front, we don't know what to do. What to know call creativity? If I that you talk about Rob Smith, what to know call creativity? We lack creativity up front. Chances are coming a football game, but how they come? Through the creativity of the team? Come on, man. But my name is not cited in the title in the video. I'm just comment section coach. It's the same DJ says, sir. Cranky, big up yourself. Actually, big up. Tell him stick to music. Our midfield wasn't bad last night. All right, our midfield wasn't bad, and I agree with that. But tell me 5 creative plays will make Rob Smith. Tell me. Because every time Lati get the ball in Tony back, me no see no forward pass. Coach, his brother don't know what he's talking about. That was not the case last night. Yeah, that is the problem I have with the comment. Man clearly didn't watch versus Honduras. When the players came for the ball, they were bypassed. Bless up, coach. Leon Bailey give himself work for do. He shouldn't be on the pitch. Long ball was being played, but not like how him I make it sound. I think Jamaicans are confused. They think we play BS practice zones. Jerry Fort is big up yourself. He is correct. No one in the midfield wants the ball. It's when DJ came on, you saw a little Thank you very much, Odell. At least somebody I see what me say. Because I'm a madman. And me not unseen. Best I ever see Jamaica play versus a good team. Someone just have chat for chatting sake, yeah, man. Look, so bro, people them really confused. Poor control is what caused the turnovers. Control and pass, basic is what is causing the main problem. We still lack a CDM, but the midfield wasn't bad last night. I have seen 80 play the same game versus bigger teams. We lack creativity throughout the team. Thank you, Cranky, because me don't know if I see foolishness. There's no creativity in the team. What is your definition of creativity, Rob Smith? Man, I'll know you not tell me what kind of rubbish me attack in a Rob Smith. I'll know you not tell me what kind of rubbish me attack. Because I realize, you see, one thing I learned is to respect people's opinion. You might not agree with it, but if you respect people's opinion, I may respect your opinion, but me not agree with it. No true one man by the stats created four crates Bailey. That is great. Created three. Bobby created three. Casey created two. So we don't watch teams in our region until they play Jamaica. So our expectations are too high. Coach, I have played the game. First, because we had chances. That is my point, Cranky. Chances are going to come in football, but the creativity what we are talking about, unless full definition different from for them, Cranky. Cranky, big up yourself.
Bless up, coach.
Well, deal with
I like
me
how
don't
Rob Smith like
understand
come
with
hard
this
now. Hope him can't take it,
creativity.
huh? Can him come hard. Rob Smith love come. Me like the people those come hard, huh? Hope him can't take it and not get sensitive when it's hard back at him.
Hold on the Cranky. Is it that our definition of creativity in football is different from theirs?
Well,
Because-
I think they should tell us who the players who are creative in the team. I see two. So tell us the players who are creative in the team. I see possibly two. That's it. So maybe the audience, those who are saying that, I hear Fresh God saying we're very creative. Walk me through the creative
very
players.
creative.
Yeah, provide for creative players. We have 23 man squad. I think it's 23. Walk me through the players who are deemed to be creative in the team, Rob. Fresh God and Rob Smith. Let me hear it. Because the misconception that because you create chances, you're being
It's
creative
creativity.
makes no. You can kick a long ball 40 yards like we did to Nicholson last night more than once, and he got behind the defense.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
That's
I'm
not
creative.
creativity. That's not creativity. First 2 minutes of the game, we could have been 2-0 up. But is that creativity? Chance is not mean. That Cranky is saying Rob Smith. Chance is not mean. Said it is creativity, you know. Chances don't mean that it is creativity. A lot of teams create chances, but it's not because they have creativity in them play.
Yeah, we don't have a creative midfield on the team. When we had Ravel is creative, right? We don't have a creative midfield on the team. Whitmore was creative. Ravel is creative. We have had a lot of creative midfielders, period. And we don't have one in this team at the moment. And up front, I see maybe two players who can say are somewhat creative. The rest of them are not creative. Bobby Reed is not creative. Bailey is not creative. Now, people are going to disagree with me on Bailey. He don't create anything except to fall down and turn the ball over. Antonio is not creative. He's hustle bustle. Nicholson is not creative. You can go to the team man for man and struggle to find creative players in the team. Gray is creative, but Gray most times is not even in the game to even see his creativity. And frankly, the field does affect the players because last night, the first ball Gray got in the corner, he tried to dribble, and the ball got away from him, and it was the field. So even though the field was better from the last time we played, it's still not fit for purpose. I think the JFF need to take that in consideration because players need good surface to play on so they can show their abilities. And you're going to see them be reluctant to dribble or move the ball along or hold the ball up at all because they're not comfortable. And the surface is unsure, then they're going to be unsure about how they should play.
Look like Fresh God and Rob Smith come for me from last night. And I'll know them can't say.
But they haven't provided creative players. Fresh God and Rob Smith, you say we have creative in the team. Please substantiate your argument by providing those creative players that you alluded to.
Man, unless there's something wrong with my eyes. And when me last night did that talk, say what happened, Fresh God was agreeing with me.
So Fresh said Casey's creative, but I haven't seen him in the 2 games he played for Jamaica. He wasn't being creative, but he could be. But I haven't seen it. So I can only talk about what I've seen. First down, I just mentioned that Gray has creativity. Yes, I did mention Gray. And I did mention Whisper. I don't see another one in the team. The other two in the team. I don't know Casey. I don't see Casey now.
But I start the local coaches talk last night. The person who started.
I started it.
Even Coach and Cranky.
I said the coaching. Here's what I said. That coach. People got to think about these things. They think about coach. So think about the team that played yesterday, the starting team. think about where we had deficiency in players play, which were very obvious, and think about the background of those players, and then talk to me. It's coaching.
Cranky, before you go into the local coach evening, just to add to the creative aspect of what you were talking about. You know, I feel like
something wrong with your eyes fresh. Me
I
and you
feel
have two
like
different eyes now. We have see different thing.
I
I
feel
don't see no creativity in the team last night. And
but
you can't tell me you see creativity.
coach, you know,
Chances create does not mean it is creativity from the player.
So sorry, football. I said one thing. Here's a
yeah,
creative play. The first goal we scored in the game before, which was deemed offside, which wasn't offside, when Gray played the ball through to Bobby Reed, that's a creative play. That was a look away pass between someone, between the defense. That's a creative play. That's what you look for in game. That incisiveness, that way of looking away, making a pass, splitting the defense. Those are creative play. Body shaking a man, create space for yourself and for your teammate. Those are creative plays. We don't see that in the team that much.
We don't see that exactly. And that would be my definition.
And even when people like Bailey are trying to be creative, call dribbling creative, for example, you want to call that. He was dribbling into he wasn't doing anything creative. He was running into himself most of the time. And some players are smart enough to realize the field wasn't fit for purpose to dribble on. So they try to make the pass versus dribbling. But we weren't. How many times did we split the defense and find Nicholson? Most balls to Nicholson came over the top, which was a strategy I think they employed because they realized that maybe the field was bad, so you have to go high, you have to go long, versus trying to play the ball through the line. So, sorry, football.
No problem. I was going to add to the point of creativity. Not only that, we lack creative players in terms of like, we don't have certain players that are creative in themselves, right? But in general, the team itself as a unit, they're not even creative in terms of set pieces. If you look at the two games against Honduras and against Haiti, I doubt we get a free kick over the wall. Trust me. And you know what frustrated me? I was watching a video yesterday and Klein College play. Was it Lennon? No, Lennon. So them take a free kick coach. And it was one off the training ground. And when commentators say that's off the training ground, it's something that you work on.
Yeah, when them knock the ball across and me see that goal there.
And for me, it's like, I'm saying, like, why is it that Leon Bailey is persistent on taking free kicks? Like, why don't we have any, other players in that era that can, take a free kick? Because there are some games where a man might be good at a free kick. Somebody might be good at free kick, and it just not coming off, but we have to change it, and we just don't change it, He's persistent at taking free kicks, and it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad Bobby Reed scored a penalty, so we can now walk away with some semblance of feeling good about the game. It was a good penalty.
Casey Palmer, chances created 1. Leon Bailey, chances created, me no see none. So I go through the players them, and we are talking about this creativity where players are do, and I go see if the players then really creative. So the Casey Palmer, what we say very creative, of course he's a creative player, but it did not show in this game. It's the point I'm making. I mean, see nothing from Leon Bailey in terms of chances created. Let us move to Bobby Reed. Bobby Reed was a judge man of the match. Let me see chance him when create. So I say a different game me watch. A different game. The statistics put up then. So uno believe the stats over when me say, all right. Me not have on my glasses now. And that I say. Them are right great. We are gonna look on it, man. And if you notice how me start out, very good comeback from the Reggae Boyz. That showed guts and character. That is how I started out the conversation. Improvement in the midfield, but it lacked creativity. Me only see key passes for something there. For Gray, key passes 2. That a 2. All right, let me look for Bobby Reader now.
So I hear one done MUFC said the coach want Bailey to take the free kicks. Bailey run down all the free kick them. You watch Fannyman Gray over the free kicks. He's want to take all the free kicks. And the players allow him to do so. So it could be the coach's strategy, but he's wants to take the free kicks. And I think Gray's a good free kick taker.
Yeah, but if you notice, Casey Palmer get involved in the free kick too, the dead ball situation from the corners.
Yeah. Fresh God said, Fresh God, I never made any comment about how we played. I don't think Haiti was a good team. They showed me nothing last night except us giving them goals. And by the way, Haiti should have scored 3 goals easily. Probably 4, but 3 definitely. The last one that Blake saved, the kid did a brilliant run. He beat the defender by looking him off. And then he decided to go below to go through the keeper versus going around the keeper. We could have easily lost that game. So we were the better team by far. That wasn't even close.
Of course, we played better.
But we should have done much better than we did yesterday. We gave up 2 goals to an ordinary team.
And that is the perennial issue that we have been having with that side of the pitch, the right side. But because we don't know football, but coach, here's the coach. We can't see properly when we are watching the game.
Do we have any stats to see where the goals are being created from for the opposition? Because that'd be a good stat. Because there was limited creative chances created from when I was watching the game on the side by Amari Bell, Gray, and Pinnock. And what the coach have to realize is he has Bailey, Lowe, and Brown on the same side. Bailey, who doesn't play much defense, Brown, who struggles, and Lowe, who's rash. So if you want to play collective defense, it's not occurring. Individual defense is not occurring. Lowe is always out of position. And he needs to go watch the tape and realize that fools rushing where Angels fear the thread, and he does that all the time. He wants to make the final tackle in the middle of the park versus, you know what? Send my midfielder and my right back to go do that. Or my right winger.
And,
but for me, still, I would say at the end of the day, amidst the one bag of differences what we have as fans, Fresh God and Rob Smith, the lead protagonist in this, I think it has to show character, cranky and guts for us to come back. No matter how the goal them come, it is because of persistence. That's why the goals came. And as me say, a little luck was in it. Own goal and that penalty for me was questionable. And not because of Jamaica. I try to split the justice. It seems questionable to me. Yeah?
It was questionable. I don't think his hand was that far away from his body. He probably hit his hand. But I want to say something to Mr. United. Mr. United says, Cranky, please take into consideration that both goals came from individual mistakes. So, Mr. United, here's the difference between you and I. I just don't look at goals. I look at chances that other team had that should have scored from. That wasn't the only 2 things that mistakes were made on that side of the field. There were multiple times in the game where the ball got behind the defense, where the opposition could have scored, which could have increased their scoreline. So if we're going to talk about just the goals and the mistakes, that's not the thing you focus on. You focus on your overall play, how much chances the opposition got, how much chances you got, how you play. Because you think about when I'm going forward, how sustainable is my performance, not just a one-off game. And even though we played much better against Haiti because they were weaker than Honduras, we still gave them more clear-cut chances than Honduras received. We could have lost both games, frankly.
But Cranky, we saw make it out the football religion.
Yeah, no problem, Coach. No, listen.
Cranky.
Yeah.
Or you summarize this statistics. Seeing? Here, who said that a while ago? Joe 40 said 80 had 4 clear chances and scored 2.
Yep.
That not showing our statistics. If
No. 4 easy chances. The difference between a chance, because sometimes the way the stats work, they're not clear about how you deem a chance. There are levels to chances. There is clear-cut chances, there are half chances, there are quarter chances, and they all view the same, and they're not the same.
But look here, we had 18 shots total, right? They had 9. Seeing? We had 3 big chances. They had 3. Seeing?
I think they had 4, but keep going.
3 miss upon this.
I think Nicholson had 3 by himself, frankly.
So 3, but how many of those big chances we missed? 2, and 80 missed 2 them, say.
No, then they're wrong, because they're counting one of the goals as chance. So Nicholson missed the ball where he kicked when he got pushed in the back, the clear header he missed, the one that Pinnock headed down, which the keeper saved, the one that Bobby Reed got. We got more than... I'm telling you, sometimes I'm not sure who's taking those stats, because they're missing things.
But how do they rate big chances?
But they're big chances, coach. So think about the one that Nicholson got the header in the first half, in the first 5 minutes.
If you head it directly to the goalkeeper or you head it wide, is that a big chance?
I would with views depends on where you are in the field and how much of a chance you had to put it in either corner versus straight to the keeper. Right? Is it a half chance or is it a clear-cut chance? Even though Pinnock made a good header, it was a clear-cut chance. Nicholson's header was a clear-cut chance. He had the ball outside versus at the near post. The one he kicked over the bar, which he was under pressure, to me was a clear-cut chance. If he had more composure, he put it in the net.
But don't you think he was clipped by the defender there?
Yes, he was clipped.
Shot off, you know.
He was clipped, but he was going for power, coach, versus placement.
Yes, that is true.
But he was clipped. You're right. He was clipped. I think Bobby Reed had a sitter too, didn't he? If I can remember.
Reed?
I thought Bobby Reed had one. He took a good shot late in the game. I thought Bobby Reed had one. Maybe I'm confusing the games, but I thought Bobby Reed had one actually.
I think that was the one, the last one of the keeper scored, save.
I wouldn't have called it a chance, frankly. Given the distance he shot from. I thought it was a good shot. I thought he had a one before that actually, but maybe I'm mistaken. Gray didn't have any chance first. The one he scored wasn't really a chance. It was a flop shot which they come to a whole goal. So Gray didn't get a lot of chances.
So Fresh got that way you send me, I read out, you know. And you see sometimes with fat mob statistics, I know all the time it's accurate, you know.
A lot of times it's not accurate.
Exactly. I know all the time fat mob statistics
they're tracking the same thing you're seeing, so it doesn't mean it's all accurate.
So
even the ball that the defender kicked around Nicholson, if you wanted to be overly critical, you could say that was a chance. If he shielded the ball right, he'd be on the keeper by himself, right? The one that in the second half where he got kicked, where the guy kicked it for a corner, where the ball bounced, when he should have been holding off the defender shouldn't be able to touch that ball. If you want to be overly critical, it was a good defensive play, but those are instances where you can say that was a chance. He's behind the defense, he's in on goal, it was a last-ditch effort. If he shielded the ball correctly, he would have gotten a penalty or being on goal to score. So
something fundamental. It's not accurate to my perception. Sometimes, Rob Smith, I know only today me I talk about fat mob, you know, and saying accurate, you know. Even sometimes I give out some team list and I talk about this are the position of the player where the player go play. It not correct. So I know first me I talk about this. So not because me not agree with you now say it accurate to my perception. Come on, man.
I think they need VAR for the stats coach, so we can go back and check. They need VAR for them. They need VAR for them to check for some of those stats because a lot of times they're not accurate.
Yeah, and then
you watch the game and you see a clear-cut chance and they're like it was 2, and you're like, but we had 4. You can name the 4 clear-cut chances, and they may have 2. So what they interpret to be a chance sometimes or a big chance is not necessarily what you're seeing sometimes.
But you see what I'm not seeing in the game, Cranky. You see. And albeit though, something is fundamentally wrong because the defenders, them always abide. Is it that they don't trust the midfielders? Or is it that the midfielders are not demanding the football? or is it that they are not breaking? They are not finding themselves in a position where the defense can break the lines on the ground, or when they get the ball, they play it back to the defenders, and the defenders are tired of the pressure, so they might go long. A whole part thing, I don't see this. This is what I don't see. I don't see Jamaica putting together 10 passes that go directly towards a shot at goal. Correct me if I'm wrong in that. And this is the creativity we may talk about. Me pass the ball from the defense, midfielder get the ball, play about the ball, 1-2 triangle, come back in a center third, you go back down one next channel, and you swing the ball across, boom, you get a head out goal or a shot, keeper save or going at the back of the net. I don't see that. I don't see it.
Coach, and part of that is also practice where you work on these things about how you break down the defense and move the ball forward from defense to midfielder forward, which is hard to do for international teams. So if you don't learn that your club team, it's hard to do. And secondly, what you mentioned about defenders and going long is it's all of the above plus more.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's I don't want the pressure, I don't want to make a mistake, the midfielder not defending the ball, people not moving correctly, it's safe to go long. All of those are factors that influence how the defenders play. Because sometimes I don't think they want to go long, Not Low. Low always seem to want to go long. It is not just fact and circumstance. He just like to go long. I think sometimes Pinnock want to go short, but
the option
it's not there,
presented,
right?
Yeah.
So Amari Bell will present himself because he's playing closer to Pinnock than Brown is to Low. But if he's marked by the winger, there is no inside person to play the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
So when Pinnock get the ball, he should have about 5 or 6 passes. He has the keeper, he has Low, he should have 2 midfielders, he should have his outside the left back, and he should also have one of his forwards who's a winger or the center forward coming into space to get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He rarely has more than 2 passes.
And
most time it's 1 to Amari Bell.
I think, Coach, what's also important with this team, and you talk about them constructing 10 passes that will eventually lead to a chance.
Sorry. We now look for a Man City style type of play though. But not even
Coach.
1 or 2 times in a game we can't put 2, 3, 4 passes together one time.
I'm saying with these players, Coach, it comes down to responsibility and how comfortable they are on the ball and how much responsibility they want to take with the ball, Coach. Because in order for these players to even construct 3 passes, they have to be comfortable enough on the ball, and they have to want to take the initiative and also take the responsibility with the ball to know that, what, yes, I'm going to misplace passes at times. Yes, I'm going to lose the ball at times, but still, we have to take that responsibility and have to take that care of the ball. And some of these players, to me, it's innate to them that they don't have that within the game, and they're not going to have it at club level because I feel like some of them reach at a stage where you can't really coach them into certain aspects of that game, and you can't really even teach them, because some of them to me is as if they're brain dead at this point, And honestly, Coach, you reach certain ages in football or in anything in life where you're just hard to learn. Damian Lowe is one of those players. Him hard to learn. To me, at times, Leon Bailey looks stubborn because the man will literally run a brick wall. Him see the wall, and you can have a gap around the wall now. One piece of breakaway, and you can just go around it. And instead, him see him like him just want to go through the brick wall, Shamar Nicholson is also one of those players where you can't teach certain stuff. So having them in the national setup and having them in training before these games is almost like there's so much and no more you can do. However, is the coach have to try to find the best system suited to these players to get the best out of them,
Shamar look unfit.
So Coach, can I say something to Jason Gunnar?
May I say something now?
Let me just give me 1 second, Ketterak, and you have a Ketterak.
Go ahead, Cranky.
So Jason Gunnar asks, how many big chances Haiti created? So let me count the ones that I saw. The 2 they scored, easy chances. The one that Blake saved, which was the guy tried to go through him, and the one that hit the crossbar. 4 clear one that I saw. Go ahead, Ketterak.
But Cranky, before Ketterak answer it, remember say that where did that shot? Where they took that shot from? That
about the 18, probably just inside the 18.
Inside the 18.
Somewhere around there. It was a clear. He had a clear shot at goal with no pressure.
Okay.
And Blake didn't see it. It passed Blake. He didn't see it. So, yeah, go ahead, Ketterak. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay. Good evening, Coach. Lindsay. Good evening, Cranky. Jason Gona. Well, best of the hand himself. I don't get the notifications anymore, so I don't know something happening with the coach's desk.
It's deliberate.
No.
It's deliberate.
You have to blame
deliberate.
YouTube, man. You have to blame
Okay,
YouTube.
no, I think what Conky is saying is that you are deliberately not notifying me.
Just to make it clear, I don't notify people. It's YouTube's duty to do that. So YouTube,
Coach, we're going with my previous statement, Coach. Go ahead, Cataract.
So I hope we have a decent discussion today, a really honest one. So I'm gonna start by saying this. This is the first match I watched when I'm sober because we're well sick now. So we couldn't drink a bag of rum when we normally drink a match. And to tell you something, I wish I was drinking because what I saw would drive anybody to alcoholism. That's one. Overall, I want to say this. If we want the answer to these questions, and I'm going to speak in code, go and look on social media. At Instagram, Snapchat, and you will find...
You have Instagram now, Cataract?
No, I don't. But people have the gram and show me. People were in the stadium showing some things on the gram that answer to why Jamaica performed the way they did yesterday. Persons have to take their responsibility. Please, hold on.
Hold on,
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, man. Hold on, man. Coach.
Last man, answer a question, man. Me now move until I answer a question, man. It was
on the advice of my legal counsel. On advice of my legal counsel, I refused to answer. However,
all right, go ahead.
I would say that Jason Gona was seeking to understand why someone might not have just gone around into the clear lane and drive his car, but just run into the back of the vehicle in front. Does that answer you enough, Coach? Okay. So that some answers lie there, right? But overall, I think there's a fair share of blame to go all the way around, including the coach. And this is the first time I have found fault with Coach Hardgrimson's decisions, including his starting 11 and his substitutions. And the only people who have no blame at all in this are the couple thousand fans who were in the stadium. Even the stadium has blame because one bank of the light them never turn on. The one them over by gate 1. I don't know if you see that.
Yeah, that's from the first match that did that, man. I see that from the first match.
And it no fix all now. But it was working for Chris Brown, though. I'll tell you that. We had a bad game. It's literally possibly outside of Mexico. I didn't think. No, let me go. And my good friend Cronky loves to remind me of this game. I think this game was worse than the Panama game. Because Panama is an opponent that is on equal standing with Jamaica. Haiti is way below rank. So firstly, I think the players and some fans, etc., just took Haiti for a joke. We thought that Haiti is in Haiti and they're in the middle of gang turmoil and they're now playing a football. And today, these players are right to understand. Many of them play in the United States. A couple of them play in France. So this was not a Haitian local team. And I think we underestimated them. And we almost paid dearly with our reputation. I think it's on MG, a brother, and a couple of people said it, but I saw this interview. A fan literally said, yeah, we get 3 points, so everything all right. Like, we were dazed to believe that we won the match. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So overall, it's one of the worst performances I've ever seen from Jamaica. It ranks on par with the 3-love from Panama.
But hold on. Let me ask a question. I can't just make your answer. These are the worst performance, Cataract.
I said it ranks among the worst performances.
So how do you rank the first game?
So the first game, you could attribute some of it to the field condition, but a lot of work was done in the couple of days to bring the field was in better condition than it was on Friday. So let me just say where it ranks for me. It ranks with the six love that we hold on now.
No, let me not finish answer a question. I know you tell me where you rank.
No, you tell me.
If the field cause us to play bad, you are gonna give that a pass?
No, man. I'm
game. Just listen, man.
Two teams playing on the field, you know.
Jesus, please, man, now listen me.
All right, man, listen.
If the field was bad, you're saying that you're gonna give the team a pass, and this game that they played much better, you're gonna say the ranks among the worst game.
You felt like they played much better this game?
Can I jump in?
Certainly.
No, hold on. I just
the 2-game series, this game would have been the better of the two.
This game?
Mm-hmm.
This match?
Where? So Cataract, I think you're sick.
No.
It's very obvious you're not feeling well.
So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I hope we get a chance to juxtapose the games together, right?
Boss man, go drink some rum.
Hold on, man. No. Haiti is a lower ranked team. Honduras is the number one ranked team in this zone.
80 ranked higher than Jamaica in CONCACAF.
No, man. In the zone. I'm talking in the zone. They put together the teams in the ranking of the zone. Honduras, Jamaica, then Haiti, then Suriname and Grenada, and whoever else.
Not because a team is ranked higher than you, that means that you can't play better than them. Come on.
No, man, I'm not saying that. Hold on, man. Hold on. I'm saying you have to. I look at the performance and I look at the level of team we played against, right? And I, for one, I thought this performance is one of the worst performances I saw in a Jamaican team. I rank it there with the 6 love we got against England in Old Trafford, the 4 love that we got, or 4-1 or whatever it is that we got against the Japan under 23.
Hey, y'all move like Fresh God and Rob Smith tonight.
No. Hold on. Let me tell you what.
The man come to me now.
Hold on now.
And I know Honduras ranked personalized zone, Qatar.
Of our opponents?
Mm-hmm.
No, of our opponents. Who is ranked higher?
80.
Haiti is ranked higher than Honduras?
Mm-hmm. So
okay.
The mic
so
drop.
Cataract, you need some help. Can I help you?
No. So let me just finish. Let me just finish the thing there, and I want to say this. And I will come back. I'll come back to it. Right. The play. We literally stood in the stadium and watched the Haitians get to every ball before us, like people were laboring to run. Joel Latibadair was marking Casey Palmer.
Listen to me. You know where this come from? You see the Instagram and the TikTok and the Snapchat, and that's where your argument come from.
No,
coach, make him finish the coach. Make him finish.
No,
you don't take long as you job.
Hold on.
Finish that. Cataract, your time is almost up in the Cataract. Come on, man.
Everybody interrupt me, then it's gonna make
No,
like
because you don't. Here we go again. God.
So
when are we gonna get to a point where
we had no?
You've been talking for a long time, Cataract.
No, I was.
Yes, you have been. Trust me.
Rich Pooh the third.
No, coach, it's not for ask my question. You make it look like that. We had defenders. I see the defendant Damian Lowe making inexplicable, not one but 2 inexplicable mistakes. We had a forward, and I am going to give Boza a pass because Boza is not match fit. And this is where I hold the coach accountable, because I don't understand how you put Whisper on the bench when he was one of the better players in the first game. So I believe that the problem began from there. Daniel Johnson, who was one of the better players when he came on in the first game, inexplicably sat on the bench while Casey Palmer struggled. And Casey Palmer was one of the worst players in the first game. So here is where I had an issue with how the coach deployed his personnel available to him. Right? I know, for example, now we can say it because it's all over. Kevin Lambert was carrying an injury, and so that's why he didn't start the first game, and he really couldn't appear in this game. It's inexplicable to me that Javane was struggling, and there were a number of attacks coming down his side of the field, and that link up between Javane, Damian Lowe, and Leon Bailey, that right side of Jamaica, that doesn't work. And it should be clear now. And lastly, our experiment of playing players out of position came full highlight in this game. And that's where I would pause now. And man can say anything.
So a couple of things. One is, I disagree with you about the performance. I thought offensively it was one of the better performance. We made some atrocious defensive mishaps and poor judgment and poor play. But if you look at the run of the play and the game, and coach, maybe you should have the possession stats, we dominated the game. At no time during the game, it's going to sound strange, even being down 2-0, I thought we were going to lose. I thought it was going to matter of time before we scored a goal. Obviously, when it got late, so I get more concerned. But Haiti wasn't really in the game. They were playing counter-attacking football. They were playing low block and trying to attack when we make mistakes. And we acquiesced to them. Number of instances, especially in that when we had the set play at the corner, and we had like 9 men up and only 1 or 2 men back, and they had a 2-on-1, which they didn't score. That's lame brain defending and setup, which is coach problem and those who are on the field in senior positions. But if you look at the game overall, we were the much, much better team. It wasn't close. And if you want to talk about individual players and what you guys are not focused on and critiquing, and it's the elephant in the room, and you guys are afraid to say it, Liam Bailey is a liability to the team. I must say it loud and clear. A liability does nothing. Dribbles, fall down. Dribbles, fall down. Dribbles, fall down. 24/7 in the game. And Whisper could do that. Hear me say in the previous game, which is, he's giving Whisper advice. Whisper should give him advice. So he's not adding any value. Whisper is like 17, 18, and he's mid-20s playing in the Premier League. And he's awful. And I'll say it again, he's awful, awful, awful. Now, you guys walking on tiptoes, don't want to sit to offend people. It's annoying to listen to. It's annoying to hear. You see, in England, they kill Harry Maguire. I'm not saying kill a player, but when the player's not playing well, the coach needs to get some, you know what, and bench the player because he's not playing well. He took Lowe out the game yesterday because Lowe had a nightmare, and he didn't take the other player out the game when the other player played both games almost a full time and did nothing. How many chances did he get yesterday? He's playing forward. He sometimes doesn't go back. How many chances did he get in the 2 games? Chances he created or got for himself. Or put himself in position to get nothing, nada. How many balls did he lose? Go look at the stats. They're awful. And so when people come on these programs and talk in circles and use euphemism and talk around, call the elephant in the room, because you guys don't want to talk about the star player who's not producing for his country, who his biggest problem is decision making. Not his skill, not his control, not his ability to pass. His decision making is atrocious. And when you make poor decisions, you get poor outcome. And it's frustrating to watch. Go ahead.
So starting Corky, when I was naming who would be my starting lineup, this was before. And coach, you and others ridiculed me when I said I would not start Liam Bailey. I would start Whisper. I recall the ridicule that man who in the chat now who chatting when I said that my starting. Okay, wait.
When last we have a show with you, the panel we are talking about nothing like this?
But they would have hold on from
receipt.
Mm-hmm. Receipt?
Yeah, receipt. Cause you make the statement like that. You have to. Me never yet talk about Whisper versus Bailey.
No. When you were doing the possible starting levels, remember you had that program?
Starting 11?
Like the pregame. Before, not this match, because I never
Which
involved
one?
in anything. Before the first match.
I can't recall.
Okay. And I didn't come on. I typed it in the comment. I was also on Manning's Man, where he had a
No,
show.
you're on Manningsman show.
No, I was on the show, but in
Right.
when you did the pregame, I
You're
typed
not
it
on
in the chat.
Manningsman.
I typed it in the show. I am Show Sports. I was on I am Show Sports show. Jesus Christ. Cha-cha. The my belief was that on the right
Oh, a
wing.
Manningsman mixed me up with okay.
No man, I said I typed in the comment section on your show. I didn't come on, even though you had put the stream yard and stuff, right? But on Manning's program, I was made a mockery of and the truth of the matter is, Whisper in these two games has been a breath of fresh air to the Jamaican national team. The fans in the bleachers were chanting his name,
Yeah, man. The
wanting
people
him to come on.
yeah, people them
As
are
a matter of fact,
go
they
against
didn't want the
Bailey
man to
and
come off.
call
So when they
Whisper.
booed, it was because they believed that Leon Bailey should have come off for Whisper to come on.
Yeah, the people them are like them turn from Bailey now and a call for Whisper. So then
No,
Yes.
coach. Then here's the thing, coach. Harry Maguire plays better for England than Bailey plays for Jamaica.
I think Liam Bailey has been
And Harry Maguire
underwhelming.
gets slaughtered 24/7.
I think he's
And
been.
here's the thing, coach, about this coach, which is frustrating. The coach is being a politician, and I understand what the coach is doing because he's the star person. He takes all the free kicks. He plays every minute. But if you're not producing, at what point do I cut my losses? Because I can tell you, Whisper would have been a much more effective player than he was yesterday, or he has been for a while now. This is not a one-off situation now. You go check the history of his performance for Jamaica. It's not a good look.
You're
I
correct.
think he's
You're
been underwhelming
correct,
for a
Frankie.
good
Nobody
while.
can.
If we hear from football religion, but
Yeah, I wanted to add to Cranky's point about Liam Bailey. I think his tenure in the national team, it kind of has been underwhelming, like lukewarm in a sense. And not only is decision making coach, but I feel like it's more of an ego thing from Liam Bailey. I'm a person, whenever I watch football players, I like to do a character assessment of them. And I feel like, I don't know if because he plays for Aston Villa and he plays in the Premier League, he feels as if he's above the team in certain sense with the constant, taking off the free kicks and the corner kicks, etc. And just his body language overall for the national team, as well as the background noise that surrounds him when he comes to play for Jamaica, as if he's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, the ability is there, coach. But however, he's not performing for the national team, and it's almost like he's undroppable, And as Ketarak and Cranky said, Whisper has been a breath of fresh air. And you know what frustrated me yesterday, coach? Not only that we took off the Gray, but we put on Whisper on the left-hand side. Why? It's ineffective. That's not where we are going to see the best of Whisper. We've always seen the best of Whisper coming off the right-hand side, So, in that sense, the coach is being a politician, and it's hindering the team in a sense, coach. Not in a sense, it is hindering the team going forward.
Hey, people, we don't want to get this thing in a manner where we feel like we should be button up in sharing our views. This is why these podcasts were created, This is why social media is out there for people to share their views. If we share a view that we see, it no means that we are this the coach, It's just basically from our standpoint. People have different opinion.
Coach.
So if somebody say them think the coach should have changed that person that particular time, we not have to agree with what the person say. But let us keep it real. Because so football discussion go.
I mean, coach, Drew say I should leave his personality out of it, coach. However, personality does play a part in football and character, coach, when it comes on to playing football on the pitch. Because some players have bad character and they have a bad personality, and that does affect the team going forward. And there are many players at professional level in club football that is a prime example of the talent is there, but the attitude is not right when on the pitch. And Liam Bailey is one of those players where oftentimes the attitude doesn't seem right on the pitch course, as if he's bigger than everyone else. And it's evident. Body language, it speaks volumes. And to add to Cataract's
Do
point.
you agree?
Talking a code, right? I've heard rumors before this game that certain man departed before the game. You get me? I say those are the rumors that are swirling around.
Yeah, man, we see some video too, man.
So that's a prime example.
But when me want to find out from Cataract, because I only see a video of one man, you know. So I want to know if it was the team itself. And that's why
I was referring to
according to him lawyer.
No, but I also refer. You know, my lawyer has white fingernails. I'm referring to it's football religion, right? Who said that why a player was running into a brick wall rather than just going around the space around the side. Was that the question you asked?
Yeah.
Right. And I said, maybe you could check Instagram and it would tell you why. So I was referring directly to that. I was referring to the team. I was referring directly to that. So, and I'm not with the Kansas version, but nothing we're doing like that. This must come out in our light, you know, bad man. But I wanted to ask, so were you disagreeing, coach, that Whisper should have started for Jamaica yesterday?
When me did say me disagree?
No, I'm asking what the panelists agree and whether, because I saw some person say that Shamar Nicholson, the reason why Jamaica did well was because Shamar Nicholson was occupying defenders, etc., etc.
Who said that? Me never said that.
In the comment section. But go ahead.
I don't think Shamar played badly. No, I think Shamar didn't put away his chances.
And he was just, I think he's unfit in my eyes.
Yeah, I don't think he played badly. No, when you're getting chances, doesn't mean you're playing badly. You may not finish your chances, but think about the overall game: bullying defenders, making runs off the ball, getting into space, receiving the ball in certain places. He was moving and getting balls in good places and situations. When he get in front of goal, as he did in the Gold Cup, he looked like he's lost. He has no confidence.
But this cranky that has been since you and I were sitting in the same stadium in Orlando.
That's true. That's true.
That's 2 years now, my friend. 2 years and 3 months now, and it continued against St. Kitts, against Trinidad in this Gold Cup. So we're not talking about failing to score against Argentina or failing to score against Mexico. We're talking about failing to score against opposition that we should be comfortably dispatching.
Shamar look unfit, and he might get the chance.
He would be.
And what I not to say that he's unfit alone in terms of how him look. I think his match sharpness isn't there either. Because if you get chances to score that can tell us say match, you're really match ready, when the ball come and you're kicking at the back of the net because you're not sharp enough, you ask it. So all of them things are coming into consideration. But Shamar has not looked himself, and it looked like he's not playing a ball and a long time he not touch a leather competitively.
I didn't think Shamar had a bad game. I thought Shamar just missed some chances he should be putting away. And at some point, Shamar has to learn to be much more composed in front of the goal. I thought Shamar got in good positions last night. I thought he was bullying defenders. Even the long balls they play up to him, he get a head on it or he bring the ball down. He didn't play a bad game, but his scoring has to improve because goals win matches. If you keep on missing goals, you got to come out the team. But I did not. He played poorly. People got to dismiss the misconception is if I don't score, that means I play poorly. That's not the case. But he has to score goals because then it gets frustrating for everyone, players, fans, everyone else. When you're getting really good chances, the header he got was the first example where you're concerned when the night started. He got a header at the far post, which he should have at least hit the target, and he didn't. And even he realized it. And subsequent to that, it didn't get much better in terms of chances he got. But I thought overall his game wasn't bad.
So you're saying he's only here for hold-up play?
No. Ketera.
No, I just asked him.
Ketera. So Ketera. You can't just judge. It's like when we talk about Jesus at Arsenal. We love his overall game, but he's not a great goal scorer. But we want him in the team because you know he's going to create stuff for others. His movement is going to drag defenders. He's holding up the ball, going to bring others into play. his bullying defenders will create situations for you. So it's not only about him not scoring, it's about what else does he do on the field. If you just score goals on the field, some coaches don't want you to because they want that overall play. Because most time the ball not going in the net. You're playing 90 minutes of football. You want your players to be involved in the game. He has to do better. Right? He has to do better because he's the center forward, and center forward's supposed to score goals. But I don't think his game was atrocious last night. I thought he was better than some players, frankly. I thought Gray wasn't in the game, even though he scored. And when he get the ball, it doesn't mean he doesn't try to do something good with it, but he wasn't in the game last night. And if you look at the stats for Gray and also for Bobby Reed, who they say was the man of the match, they don't touch the ball enough in games. Both Gray and Bobby Reed don't touch the ball enough in the game.
Because they are played out of the game.
No, Cataract, sometimes you play yourself out of the game, Cataract.
No. And I don't agree that Gray and Bobby Reed play themselves out of the game. They are victims because they are both diminutive players. And it doesn't work for them, the long balls coming over the top.
No, for Cataract, if Bailey's getting enough ball, how do you attribute him receiving a lot of balls versus those two?
The second is that several of our primary players seem programmed to want to give the ball to Leon Bailey. Now, I saw it in the Gold Cup. It's a little better now that the first instinct of Damien, no, is to get the ball to Leon Bailey, whether he's in a good position or bad. And what got to us in the bleachers is that for a number of those long passes, I don't know how many of those stats go. I don't Google it. I just tell you what was seen at the game, right? It's inexplicable under no pressure whatsoever at all. I'm talking about the game I saw yesterday. I've never been an exponent about the long ball. I was upset about it from as far back as Tapper's time when Grant was in the side, and I kept saying they just play him out of the game and just knock the ball over the top. But then I realized it's not even about Grant. It's just they just. But I don't understand.
The long ball wasn't always ineffective yesterday. The long ball was effective in some situations. We just didn't make the best of those situations. The long ball worked in some situations. Nicholson got behind the defense at least twice with those long balls. He just didn't make good of those situations that he got. So the game needs to be mixed up. You can't always go long, but you also can't always go short. You want to stretch the defense. And I'm not sure we do that well enough. And frankly, the way the field is, you might as well go long anyway. You can't pass the ball on that field. It's bumpy.
So how were the Asians able to counterattack us on the same bumpy field?
But Cataract is a different story, Cataract. There's less defenders in front of you. You have space to go upfield. Counterattack. That's what I'm saying. Counterattack. You mean counteract? All right, they're playing deep, Cataract. They're playing deep. Of course, long ball don't normally work with low block Cataract because your defenders are always back, right? Long ball works better when you're pressing someone.
Right, and they were not pressing us.
No, they were not pressing us. But we still had Nicholson as a target person, so we went to Nicholson. Just like you see how Brentford go for Tony, we had the same concept about how we want to do it.
Okay. So then I want to put another hard question that was asked here. And this is on the coach. All right, and I'll say to him to his face, say whatever, because I'm one of his strongest supporters. The question is, the coach at some point needs to, and I'm surprised that none of the journalists asked the coach in the post-match after the two games to explain to us why Kemar is sitting at home in Scotland and Trevante Stewart is in his new home in Italy.
Good question. I don't know. Neil, welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Neil. Neil, come like him come with fire, Let go Neil there.
No, man, but I'd like an answer to that question.
We can answer that question.
We can't, Cataract. The JFF pick the team and get the coach, Cataract.
We can answer that question, Cataract.
We cannot answer the question, Cataract. And Kemar Roof has been injury prone. Who knows if he wants to come? He's been injury prone.
No,
He
but
stay fit, so maybe he should just get fit and then come, right?
And that question isn't even valid now.
Pardon me?
That question isn't valid now.
Yes, it is.
So why you can't ask us?
So the game gone already?
Yeah, echo.
Mm.
And you see how Cataract stay though. You see sometime him in a press conference and him not ask certain question, you know. And one time hindsight, he always come with questions, you know.
Then at one press conference, you gave him one question, and I asked my question, which was, I thought, pertinent at the time.
No, you're not asking a pertinent question. You ask a soft question, like you're afraid of people.
So,
and when people in there not ask, you come back on stream and I say, why we never ask?
One press conference we're going out of the 6 we keep.
One press conference.
One.
Cataract. It not necessarily means that I recent one that we are talking. All press conference we are talking. Because you always do that something here. So don't try to Jim Squeechy or anything. Go ahead, Neo.
I come back with Kemaru though. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna continue to talk. Am I still echoing?
No, go on.
Okay, no, I just wanted to just give my 2 cents, right? And regards to Bailey, I don't know. I mean, listen, you can't tell me that Bailey had been ineffective, right? But during the Gold Cup and even during these 2 games, he had his moments. I think that he's trying too hard. He's trying to take the team on his back. As Frankie says, he has he's making bad decisions. I don't know. I don't see that Bailey is playing any worse than some of the other players on the team, such that he should not be on the field. I mean, I don't know. I don't buy that. Nor do I buy this thing at Whisper. Yeah, I give Whisper his ratings, but after 2 games, I cannot conclude that Whisper is a better player or would have been better on the field than Bailey. I just don't see that, right? As between Whisper and Nicholson, you could argue that Whisper was more effective. At least him hit the post. I think Nicholson always finds himself in a spot where he could possibly score. But I don't know. Nicholson really needs to dig deep, because if he don't start putting the ball in the back of the net, right? It's not only Jamaica I'm going to have to answer to the clubs and maybe his career. So I'm praying for him that he finds that form, right? But for Bailey, I don't know. I just feel like people are way too harsh when it comes to Leon Bailey. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion, guys.
Neo, let me just say something, Neo. If you're deemed to be a star person in a team, you can't have moments, Neo. Your game cannot be moments, right? If Bellingham is in an England team, he can't just have moments in the game.
Well, Cranky, listen. Let me just offer this.
Okay.
There are some people who play a role, and in that role, that is how they are effective, and that's why they're a star. I think Leon Bailey plays for Jamaica, does not play the same way for his Premier League team, because 1, him don't get the same type of supply. 2, right? I don't know. I see him drifting in the middle of the park more often than he does while he's playing at his club team. So yes, Leon Bailey is no Messi, right? When you look at how Messi play, he's all over the team, always in everything. Leon Bailey is a winger, and that is where he makes a meal whenever, for his career. When he plays for Jamaica, he tries to come inside, he tries to, to do all of these other things, and it fails him, and it puts him in, it makes him get a lot of criticism, and he feels the responsibility that you just said, that he's a star, he should be doing X, Y, and Z. I think if Bailey does the simple thing, then it probably would be better for him. I think also he feels that he cannot do the simple thing because, frankly, we don't have no midfield. We
No,
really
but
don't have any
what do you refer to
So,
as
so
the simple
can I
things?
jump in for 1 second, Neil? I'm gonna make a quick point. Sorry, footballer.
Definitely.
This
Go on,
this
please.
ex, this excuse about this is not Villa with similar players. You know what that fallacy got shown up? Damari Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Damari Gray has put that thing to bed. Same players around him. He's coming to the team. He made a CONCACAF team at the tournament. Right? His first time playing with us. Damari Gray is not a starter for Everton. He's going to Saudi Arabia to play football. He can't get in the Everton team, whether it's the coach or his play. And he comes here and he plays well, and we all see it. We see Bailey play. He doesn't start as much for Villa anymore, but he doesn't. I mean, we don't want to do a conversation about Bailey all night. I don't want to cut out. I don't want to get a Bailey bandwagon, but and the Bailey thing. But he hasn't produced.
Yeah, but Damari Gray is not trying to do what Bailey's trying to do. Damari Gray is staying in lane, and he knows what he does well, and he sticks to it. You know.
So good night, good night, Leo Butler.
No, Cataract. Yeah, go far with that.
So because it must be that my good friend Neil's sights and laws is on a retainer. Because you are now defending the indefensible.
No, it's not a matter.
Let me ask you this one now. Forget about the play. With the cutting inside and cutting outside. In the Gold Cup, in the first game, Damari Gray, Jamaica got a free kick about 20 yards or so out. And Damari Gray took the free kick that led to a goal, right?
Right.
Since then, Liam Bailey has just taken the free kicks, and they end up in the wall. They end up.
Liam Bailey was a ball hog before. He was a ball hog before Gray came. But continue your point.
Hold on. And I'm saying, you are saying, and I'm asking you now to explain, because this has nothing to do with whether he's running into midfield or not staying on the wings or playing as a second striker. I'm talking now. Why is he taking on the role of our dead ball specialist when he is ineffective at that? And there are other players who have demonstrated that they have the ability to be effective.
Well, let me tell you. Well, let me offer two explanations. The first explanation is that when he plays for his club, he does do some of those dead ball, take free kicks, and I don't know if he scores a lot of them, right? But obviously, he's at a level playing where he expects himself to be among the players who are going to take those kicks, right? But beyond that, though, he has been a ball hog because, as I said before, he's trying to do too much. He figures that the responsibility is his, and yes, I'm kind of selfish, right? What I like with Gray is that Gray says, listen, this is my role, I'm going to stick to it. Gray will sometimes disappear on the field. You understand? And if he can't get into those lanes or break those lines or get that pass, you don't see him. Leon Bailey, on the other hand, wants the ball, gets the ball, and run into a wall. Just like the guy said, he runs into a wall. So
Leon Bailey's role in terms of running into walls now, right?
We have a caller online. Hold on, caller, go ahead.
Yeah. What I want to comment, what I want to comment on is what Cataract saying. Leon Bailey hurt the ball. I don't think that, because in the last game, the last penalty we got before last night, he took it and he didn't score. And now Bailey took the penalty. So if Leon Bailey was a baller, he would have run to take the penalty. So it's obvious that
no, he couldn't touch it again. He couldn't touch it. Remember, I missed one. So on a ball.
I don't know the kind. I use one example. Said the man the ball hawk. He took out the free kick. Them call him. What are you talking about? He took all the free kicks. Every set piece he took them, apart from the penalty. Yeah.
The only way you can know what I'm talking about, you have to let me finish.
Okay, finish.
If you don't let me finish. So the coach tell him Just like how the coach probably tell them if they get a penalty, let Bobby take it. So he's playing under the coach instruction.
There's some bad echoing happening, coach.
Yeah, I'm sounding better now.
No, yeah, echo caller.
Yeah, I'm sounding better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying, it's obvious Bailey has played from the coach instruction, you know, because him can't just go up on the field and kick the ball if the coach now tell him to do it.
Yeah, but all the penalty thing going. Remember, Bailey did take that penalty that I'm missing now, so him get relegated.
Me can't.
No,
Yeah, but
coach, even the one further. Remember that Bailey was not the person to take the penalty in the Gold Cup. It was Mikel Antonio.
All right, we established that.
Okay.
But listen me now. All right, England.
You alone are talking as a dialogue we have, you know. You say something, I'm coming in to say something. Let me finish the man.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as we Cataract say, Leon down the penalty. If him did score, probably him would have dip on the list. But him not dip on the list again.
Mm-hmm.
So according to what we see, Bobby and Demar agree at the penalty man. And how me know teams go, I don't know if that is gonna be employed in the national team. If you miss, you move down the line and we try to promote somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Or if
England get a penalty, remember I said Kane kick one for England in the World Cup, and if they get a penalty tomorrow, you might take it. Because the coach insists that happen. So no, so the moral of the story is that anything, in my opinion, anything where Bailey dip on the field a hard down ball, the coach must tell them that. Because if Bailey dip on the field a hard down the ball without the coach instruction, it's obvious you have a big problem. One of them all have the thing down and all behind one I say. And the big problem will be the coach.
Can I just add something? I just want to add something quick, caller. During training, and even at the games, you can see that there are a lot of the players themselves on the team. During training, Bailey star up the thing. On the field, the players look to him to produce. Now, maybe he has been disappointing them, himself, and us. But all I'm saying is that, you know, he has they look to him for a reason, because he's performing elsewhere. The question is, why is he unable to do this for Jamaica? Right?
Neo, he's not performing any place, Neo. Who's get this narrative? The last game he played for Villa, he got pulled off after. Guys, I'm sorry, I can't listen to this nonsense.
Frankie, how much goal Bailey scored for his team since the EPL started?
He scored in a
He scored about 3 goals already.
How many goals he scored in the Premier League? Let's not talk about League Cup games.
Why not?
Because they might play some little team like 4 national league teams.
We went couple the goals at the one scorer. We can't draw that distinction.
Neo, what happened the last game he played, Neo? What happened the last game he played, Neo?
Listen, I don't know, but not everybody have a good game. The point I'm
making.
He
went on after 20 minutes and he got pulled before the game was done.
Right?
Since Diaby came in, he's not the regular starter.
Right, but him have a bad game. The point is the preceding game before that, he hasn't
played well. He hasn't played that well. He hasn't played that well. You guys are missing it. That's why Emery keeps phasing him out.
With the exception of Antonio and Pinnock, the Jamaican who is playing at the highest level and playing relatively well, that is, as compared to the rest of the members of the Jamaican team, is Leon Bailey. Is that untrue?
The player who's at the highest level, the difference between being at the highest level and playing at the highest level, playing well, is Leon Bailey, yes, because Gray's now in Saudi Arabian League, yes. Bobby Reid also is not playing bad. Bobby Reid is playing better for Fulham than Bailey plays for Villa.
That's what I'm asking you. So
Bobby Reid plays for Fulham.
So Neil Butler, which you will be tonight.
But anyway, gentlemen,
can we move away from the Bailey discussion? It's getting uncomfortable. Can we move over to the Bailey discussion because he's not the team?
No, I just wanted to ask.
No, because coach is like we have beat a player and we just call one player back.
I'm not beating him.
We're not beating anybody. We're having a discussion.
Look
And
at
this is the point.
Neo has been a retainer, as Cataract said. Neo is on retainer.
When you
So
say
Neo can't
we,
beat him client. Neo can't beat him client.
when you say
Hold on,
we, you and
Frankie.
you Cataract.
But that's a
Yes,
business
I'm
thing,
beating him.
Frankie.
Yes, I'm beating I'm beating
That's a
him.
work
Frankie.
thing. So even if him the party and him on a work.
Look, if Bailey was Hector, he would not come back to Jamaica to play. He'd
Hey,
be
coach,
run away by now.
coach, let me tell
If
you
Hector
something.
played like
I mean,
Bailey, he would not be in the Jamaica team. I'm
I
telling you that
think
right now.
Frankie, you're dominated.
I
I'm
see
trying to
Leon
pose a
Bailey.
question to
Go ahead,
to
go ahead,
Neo.
Cataract. I apologize. Go ahead.
Right.
I see Leon
Neo,
Bailey have a bad game.
Neo,
Yeah, go ahead,
Neo,
Tractor. Go ahead.
you said
Uh-huh.
that apart from Ethan Pinnock and Michael Antonio, Leon Bailey is playing at the highest level. Now, you totally ignored that Bobby Reed scored on the first game of this season. He is the Fulham captain and has retained Fulham in the Premier League since they have gained promotion. So you're wrong there.
Well,
Secondly,
I think it does come to the point because you said they have just been brought back into the Premier League level, right?
no. I said he has retained them. Fulham has been in there for like 4 or 5 seasons now.
Right.
Right. He retained them in there. Additionally, even though they're the smallest club in the Premier League, Amari Bell plays 90 minutes of every game for Fulham.
All right. So let me just ask you this:
You mean for
Are
Luton,
you
not Fulham?
trying
But
to
anyway.
say with a straight face that Amari Bell, right, and Bobby Reed are regarded as better players than Leon Bailey?
Bobby Reed is regarded as a better player than Leon Bailey.
Does the market regard them that way?
The market regard him that way?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the market regard him that way?
So can I jump in?
But,
Go ahead. I don't want to cut off.
Frankie.
So I wouldn't say the market regard them as better players.
Yeah.
I would say production-wise, there's not much difference. But I think the market regard Bailey as more valued than those two.
Well, I rest my case.
But there's a difference. So if I'm good for my club team and I'm atrocious for my national team, it says a lot. And we haven't given credence to what
People
football.
to say that about Messi.
Yes, they said it for years until he wanted to go. Yes, they said it for years about Messi. That he was Maradona. That he was poor for his national team. That he can play Barca with good players. They said it for Messi a lot. Football said something previously, which people sort of ignored and didn't think about. He basically said, when the player plays for his club team, put it in my own words, he's around peers and maybe better players. So he, as I'm saying at Jamaica, I'm holding corner. When he comes to the national team, it's a different view. As you said, Neo, which is, I'm the star. I have to operate like a star. I have to stamp my authority. The problem is, he's not playing like a star.
Right. He hasn't been.
That's the problem. Yes.
But and my point is that this wanting to be the star, to carry the team on his back, I think is negatively affecting his game. And where I agree with you and Cataract is that he ought to give his teammates more respect, right? In the sense of trusting them on the field and playing his role like Gray has done. Because, Gray he's not in his head, he's not the star, very humble guy, and he does what he can do best. You can expect a goal from him.
But
when Leon Bailey comes, he's all over the place.
I think, you see, this goes back down to one narrative where we never really want going about it. I could probably leave it out. But I think Leon Bailey would have been widely traveled, and the players, they respect him in terms of his experience over the years being in professional football. So I think they lean and look to him for that sort of support. So it's not like he can escape being that leader in the team, even though he's not the captain. I think a lot of them look up to him because of his status and all of that.
We expect it from him. And it's clear.
I see it two ways.
And
Go ahead, coach. Go ahead.
and it kind of put a undue pressure on him to always perform. But I believe if he does the simple things,
Agreed, coach.
he will undoubtedly be more impactful. Make the passes, play the ball. You take on player when it's 1v1. Don't try to take on player when it's 2v1. You get what I'm saying?
You know, the second game of the Gold Cup, coach. The second game of the Gold Cup. I think in the first game, maybe he underperformed, it appears. And in the second game, after him get the spanking from the public and him look back on the game, he came to the second game, I think it was, with some humility, and he was a different player. And he played well in that game. Right?
Versus Trinidad and Tobago.
But I think Neil's point is valid, which is he was making better decisions and playing team football and not trying to do it all by himself. So no matter who you play, it's how you play.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the opponent, it's how you play. Yeah.
What I want to say to Neil,
Hold on,
Jamaica.
hold on, the cataract. Chris Smith is saying, so you're telling me that Leon have more respect than Mikel Antonio and Bobby Reid at their club? At their club.
So can I jump in on that, coach, for a second? Can I jump in?
I think I'm talking
to make a point.
No, me did make the point there. So let me answer Chris Smith. I think Chris Smith referring to the EPL when
somebody had the mic open.
When I'm referring to the national team. So the respect that I'm making reference to is not in his clubs overseas or the clubs that he would have played for. I'm talking his influence in the national team. So Chris Smith, you have to get the context before you ask the question. Go ahead, Ketarak.
Okay. So Rob Smith, I knew there was a problem with the Smiths. So Rob Smith said to me and laughed when I said Bobby Reid retained Fulham in the Premier League. So I'm going to say this. Fulham will never let go of Bobby Reid because Bobby Reid is their Swiss Army knife player. They have deployed him to play right back, striker, second striker, winger, cam, left wing, right wing, and internal wing. He has been a Swiss Army knife. And the level of what he has brought to Fulham, I didn't say by himself. I said Bobby Reid has retained Fulham in the Premier League. Not by himself. I didn't use the word by himself. Because certainly Mitrovic wasn't firing on all cylinders over the period. You've had Paulinho, who's coming in the CDM role, etc. But the level of respect and his contribution has led to him being named the captain of the club.
Right, but let me just 1 second, point of order, as you would say. Bobby Reid is one of my favorite players, but I have seen Bobby Reid come and play for Jamaica, and he's not in the right headspace, and he disappoints himself, and he disappoints the team. Seriously, and he's still one of my favorite players. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is I saw Bobby Reid in that Haiti game assert himself, and I was proud to see that. I thought that towards the end of the game and mid-second half that he looked like, listen, we're not losing today. And he was leading. You understand? What I'm trying to say is, coach has said this in the past, maybe not about football, maybe about track, but these guys need some sports psychologists. You understand? I mean, it is an issue even with Shamar, right? So Shamar does have a fitness problem, but it's not only a fitness problem, because the truth is that as a striker who's supposed to get the ball and hold it up, him not really have all for running for the compared to a winger, right? So yes, there's a fitness issue there, But the man have some people have a writer's block. The man have a goal scoring block at the moment, right? My point is that Leon Bailey is his own worst enemy. There is no doubt that he's underperforming, but is he capable of doing better? I think the answer is clear. Can you say that? I don't want to compare him to Whisper, right? I don't want to do that. But does Leon Bailey deserve a spot in the team? Of course he does. Is he playing poorly now? Yeah. Damian Lowe. Did Damian Lowe F up? He surely did. Should we throw him out and not bring him back? Anybody who say that must be crazy. That's my point.
It's a long second.
Give football religion.
It's a long second. My apologies, Cataract. My apologies.
I feel with the Leon Bell situation, right? If you're having a player that's playing bad to a certain extent, and you have players on the bench, I mean, you have a bench for a reason, and the bench does have quality. So in certain cases, you should be looking to your bench to either start a player and give something refreshing to the team. And Whisper, throughout his tenure in the national team, has been somewhat of a refreshing player when he plays, whether he's starting or whether he comes on as a sub. And for the coach to see Leon Bailey was playing that bad against Haiti and put Whisper off the left-hand side, which he was clearly ineffective when he's looked the best coming off the right-hand side with the left foot. I mean, it's clear as day that it's disingenuous to the national team and it's not benefiting the team. If you're having a player playing bad and the public is on him, you have to take him out of the firing line, and that's the responsibility of the coach. And as I said, Leon Bailey is also his worst enemy, because to whom much is given, much is required. And you might say that players look to Leon Bailey as the star player and look to him as that person to carry the national team. But Leon Bailey also asserts that on himself as if he's the star player. So we will expect a lot from Leon Bailey, and he has to deliver in that capacity. And not only that, it's not that we even put that on Leon Bailey. The background noise and people that surround him also put that on Leon Bailey as well.
The football religion just makes some brilliant points. The only point I'll add to that is this. If I'm playing in a league with you like the Premier League, and I come to your house, I'm going to defer to you. It's like I'm a foreigner in your house. This is your environment. I'm going to defer to you. And if you're very assertive, I'm going to even defer more to you. And the players who defer to him, like Pinnock, are not the most assertive players, even if they're playing well. So that sort of indicates as to why, it may provide a perspective as to why he gets to operate the way he does. But I've said 1,000 times. And yesterday was a clear example to me. See the goal, not yesterday, see the goal that Gray scored against Honduras?
Yes.
Not many people realize that when he was dribbling, while he was trying to set up the defender, he also looked for a pass in that whole sequence. He looked for a pass, and then he went far corner. Even though he was thinking far corner for the whole time he's dribbling, because that's how he plays, he still looked for a pass. You know why? Because it's ingrained in him. That's how he learned the game. Look for the player in a better position, and that player gets the ball no matter where I am. That's a fundamental to how you coach kids to play football, and we haven't learned that when we were growing up playing football, and Bailey hasn't learned that. Because the first thing he thinks about doing is dribbling, not look for who's in a better position to play the football. Is it me or is it my teammate? And if you can't do that in football, coaches don't want you in their team. They're going to bench you, going to pull you from games because they're thinking about where do I have an advantage and how do I exploit that advantage? That's not how he plays. Most time he's looking to dribble. And Neil made a great point. When he got pressure in the Gold Cup, it was very obvious he was deferring his game to the team by passing. Even sometimes he in a position to shoot, he still passed the ball.
So
even when the goals that were scored, I think it was an offside, he passed the ball to let the player get in when he was in a better position to shoot because he was feeling the pressure. And as football religion basically just said, which is this: if the player is not doing well and it's a continuous basis, and from where I sit, he's having more bad games than good games, then the pine is a decision. The pine helps you get religion.
So
it's amazing how the pine does that.
I agree.
We have a call up. Hold on, Kata. We have a call online, but Cranky, careful of your tread. That man has been in Europe for years, since he was like, 12, 13? So watch it. Caller, go ahead.
But who coach him?
Yeah, man, I coach.
Hold on,
Understand, sir. Remember, sir.
After.
remember, say, the man them play football, right? They play football for a living, yeah? And if they get damaged on the field, remember JFF ain't gonna pay them nothing. Somebody need to take Leon Bailey one side and talk to him, because what he's doing is not playing much. He's not playing good.
Carla, what
That's
you say
the
a while
fact.
ago? Repeat.
Remember that they play football for a living. When they come and play, if they get injured, JFF ain't gonna look after them. So when they come and they play,
all right. So we don't have to pick no footballer then, because it is likely that you get injured playing football. Seem like a police.
But what I'm saying, if
likely
they get
that
injured,
he gets shot while doing his duty. So I don't understand your
I
argument.
agree. But what I'm saying, all right, what if he get an injury where he break his leg? JFF ain't gonna stand anything. Yeah, it's a part of the game, but at the end of the day, JFF not gonna pay the bill.
So you're saying Leon Bailey's lackluster performance is because he doesn't want to get injured?
Exactly, because if you notice, since Leslie has been very much injury prone.
Carla, that argument is nonsense, because Leon Bailey probably get the most foul on the field. And him going into dribbles. If him never want to get hurt, he would not dribble. So the argument the way you're talking don't make no sense, Carla.
Coach, just ask the Carla. You see when the game I play. You see when the game I play, Carla. You see Carla. You see when the game I play. Just put your TV on landscape and not on portrait.
No, Carla. Hang up and call again. Hang up and call again. Because you made a mistake. Hang up and call again.
The man wants to give with a portrait.
Hang up and call.
Wants to give with a portrait. You know what's the landscape.
Hang up and call.
But Coach, I want to ask a very serious question. No, Carla.
No, seriously. Look on it though. Last night with that low. Oh God, look how low stand up and met the man right beside the man. I met the man that beat him. What you call that? Carelessness. Yeah? The guy with name Brown. Oh gosh, they don't trust the one another. That means the team don't have any confidence in each other. They lack of confidence.
Okay.
The coach probably too buddy with them probably need to get tough on them and start deal with them on some serious words. Sometimes that's the only way you can get answered. You have to talk to people.
Can I go on record and say this? I don't think Lowe or Bailey are not good footballers. Let me go on record and say that. I think both of them decision making is atrocious.
Yeah.
And they both can play football. They can play football. They make poor decisions all the time. Poor decisions.
So Cranky, you jumped ahead. I was going to say what they call it on the line.
Carla?
The beaten. Lowe get last night. Oh God, him look so much like a little 10-year-old.
Lowe had a bad game last night. And he will look at himself in his mirror and said it's probably one of the worst, probably if not the worst game he has played in a Jamaica shirt. Right? He has to just be honest with himself.
The coach too, but probably him start to get stern and let them know, say if you don't play, you're going to get dropped.
The coach too?
I don't know, please. Don't make it go there. Oh, God. All right. So we agree upon that, but after watching the game in a landscape, because your first comment about Leon Bailey and players coming here and players don't want to get injured, that's not how you play if you don't want to get injured. What Leon Bailey is doing is playing to get injured. Cranky, one of the points, I just want to make 3 points before I forget them. The first excuse people used to make for Leon Bailey was that he's double teamed and triple teamed because he's the named player. I did not see that happening in both the Honduras game or this game. Even though Michael Antonio was not here, and one would have thought then Bailey would have gotten the big triple and double teaming. So that couldn't be used as a blanket, right? The other question I want to ask, Coach, even while the call is here and ask, man, who is the designated penalty kick taker for Jamaica? Because I don't know, again, I was sober last night.
Mr. Bobby Reed angry.
Well, hold on. Was it Daniel Johnson? Didn't Daniel Johnson was the person who was lining up to take the free kick, or never see right? And I'm far away in the bleachers. Who are the two players who were having a discussion, let's put it nicely, overtaking wasn't it Bobby Reed and Daniel Johnson?
Yes.
Right, because I heard that Demari Gray and Bobby Reed were the penalty kick takers. I don't understand how another player would even get back to the Leon Bailey situation where another player who is not the designated player is even in discussion to take the penalty.
So
Well
look like a
taken.
DJ did want to take it, but a Bobby Reed
Yes,
I designated. But DJ can take penalty still now, but if you're not
yes,
designated,
he does.
you're not supposed to do that.
Well,
He,
well, I
DJ,
still think the coach need to come out of the body position right now and stand up.
no, we tried to stop it the first time, man. Carla.
Yeah, hold on. Frankie, me understand what you're saying. And listen.
No, I don't think you understand what we say because you keep repeating the beat and the beat and D. We're not in that. Coach, it was a well-taken penalty kick by Bobby Reed. Well-dispatched penalty kick. The keeper had no chance.
Yes,
congratulations to Bobby. Well-taken penalty kick. And if he didn't dispatch it, we'd have been having a different conversation here today.
Call up. Cataract can't attack and you talk through. I try to talk.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said if he didn't dispatch that penalty kick, we would all be having a different conversation today. So I want to say thanks to Bobby Reed, and I think we should big up Bobby Reed. Bobby Reed has never been a bad player for Jamaica. He just had a really bad miss on the 1 yard line. And I think people use that to denigrate his contributions. He has just been a Mr. Reliable. Like, if not going to give you a 10 out of 10 performance, a 9 out of 10, but a regular steady 7.
Yeah, but Bobby Reed was the man of the match for this game for the Jamaicans, you know.
Well, it wouldn't be hard because there's not many men in the match.
And Rupert.
I think Bobby Reed gonna play right back. I think Bobby gonna play right back. He's not creative enough to play up front. Go play right back.
No.
I believe play right back. Go play right back.
Bobby Reed is a second striker from the beginning of his career.
I think he should be right back for the national team.
No, I believe that Latimer needs to go and play right back where he normally plays for his club.
We have enough right back, and we play one that's not playing well. Well, we have so many right backs who can play better. We playing those other two there.
No, we can't put Bobby a right back because he'll be playing out of position.
I think.
He plays everywhere for Fulham. He plays right back for Fulham. He plays midfield for Fulham. He plays forward. He plays everywhere.
Can I segue into something just relating to Bobby Reed, Cataract, respectfully, and Frankie? So here's the thing: Bobby Reed has been with the team for a while, and he is a jack of all trades and a steady hand. As I said, he's one of my favorite players. I think he always demonstrates commitment, and I respect him for that. I don't think that he's not arrogant. He's always humble, and he's always looking to serve the team, right? But speaking of the team, the coach said at press conference that he felt that this performance was a better performance. I think the coach, Coach Minze, can address the issue earlier on. I just wanted to ask you guys, the idea is that even though we won the Honduras game, the coach felt that tactically we were better in this game. And even had we lost the game, he felt that it was a better performance by the team.
Only Cataract alone said that.
Yeah.
Right?
The reason why he said that, let me tell you why he said that. Last night they tried to play attacking football, but it didn't look like attacking football. That's what he tried to play last night.
Yeah. But, because my issue is that it may very well be that we were better tactically speaking, right? But I don't know, it was still ineffective. I don't know, I expect more of the team. And I heard Cataract kind of talking about who the opponent was, and in saying that, well, the context, if they're playing against Honduras, who's higher, I don't want to go there again. All I'm saying is that at this point, I am not sure if I understand what the coach's tactics are. And I know that he wants to have a balanced team. Balance is a big word out there. But I don't know. I don't see, apart from Demari Gray, who has scored, for us. I'm not quite sure if I follow. Maybe I'm I don't claim to be a football, like coach or anything like that. But I don't know. Do you guys understand the tactics that the coaches employ? And we want to be more attacking, but I don't know. Yeah, go ahead, Keter.
To answer that. Oh, Keter, want to go?
So
That's not Keterak's forte. Don't answer me. Don't know Keterak.
Religion. Go ahead.
I know you want to hear
Don't
your
answer me. Don't know
voice.
Keterak.
So
Go ahead.
I know you want to hear your own voice. So the question was posed. The question was posed to me, and I'm going to answer and then defer to football religion.
Keterak, hold on, man. Make football religion answer now.
She's answering the question that was posed to me.
Yeah, man. It come back to you. Remember, say me moderate the program now.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, coach, in order to see the tactics of a team, right? I think in order to see how a team is playing, the team has to be effective in terms of the passing. By the passing, that's the only way you're going to see in the areas in which the team wants to play, the areas in which they want to progress the ball, the areas in which they want to recover the ball. And for me, with the Reggae Boyz, they're not good at doing that. They're not good at following instructions, whether it's tactically, etc. So I feel like on that front, it's going to be hard to see what the team is trying to do unless players carry the instructions of the coaches.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Okay, so tactically, if you're going to play all out attacking football and leave yourself don't have a CDM that is going to keep the shape of the team and leave yourself open and susceptible to the counterattack, I don't believe it's a good tactical game. So it might look nice, we're going forward and creating all the attacks, but Haiti can look back and say they hit the bar, and there was really a save that Andre Blake didn't know anything about, and there was another chance where the player, when they were going towards the Caribbean Sea end, right, the Nannyville end, where the ball just went across the face of the goal, and the Haitian player didn't get there in time to tap it in. So defensively, we used to say that we were defensively solid. In the Gold Cup, we only gave up a goal against the USA and then against the one that we lost against Mexico. But now it's on the reverse, where we've given up 2 goals against Haiti, but we just look like we were going to give up goals. And so if the tactic is all out attack and just throw everything at the kitchen sink at the team, instead of a steady, tactical, clinical approach of breaking them down, then I would say the tactics were not obvious as they were obvious in the Gold Cup. And somebody's mic, I don't know if I Neo, your mic have feedback badly, Fred.
All right, sorry, Keter, but I agree with you 100%.
So can I say something to me just says, because nobody answered the question.
No, hold on.
Source of my confusion.
Hold on. We have a call online. Caller, go ahead.
Good night, gentlemen. Good night, coach. Good night, Cataract. Good night, Stan Crankley. The match, couple things that I'm saying in the comments. I felt that Hum Grilson was out-coached early in the match. One of the things that we're seeing is the difference between tournament football and the one-off, let's say, a World Cup qualifier and a Nations League match.
But Nations
teams
League
now
is a tournament thing. Remember that, and you could have called World Cup qualifying tournament because you have to go through multiple games in order to qualify.
Correct. Well, I think what I want to say is that the coach doesn't have the squad together for multiple weeks at the same time. They're bringing them in for a window. So tactical work has to be discussed faster. One of the things that is going on now, the coaches in CONCACAF now have a better body of games to scout Hal Grimson and the Reggae Boyz by, and so teams are more prepared to face our team.
So we
Other
not,
key
so we
factor, a
not
couple
prepared
things.
to play the other teams then. 'Cause if you're saying that there are a lot of scouting on us, so what are we doing about that?
That's where the coach needs to improve on that side. He should learn that over time. For example, when you're playing a team like Haiti, Damon Lowe throughout his career in various different clubs struggles mightily against overly athletic teams. Against technical team, he is able to use his physicality and do other things, but he does struggle on that.
Who's struggling
Other
on that?
part of our Lowe, Damon Lowe. If you look at him in MLS, when he matches up against athletic forward, a forward that's a little bit less technique but pace and strength, Lowe gets exposed.
No, but when you look at
Right,
Messi,
so
Messi take him on and Messi turn him inside out and throw him all over the place.
Me-
Messi
Messi,
technical.
Messi had turned the whole league upon him head. So it's not, nobody now stop Messi. So that's a bad example. So watch the teams that he plays against in the MLS Eastern Conference, and you see who he has trouble against. And watch when Philly benches him and when they put up a different matchup. If you watch it carefully, this has been a problem throughout his career.
But I have a
another
question.
thing.
Hold on, Dwight. I have a question. You made mention of being out coach. Could you give some more clarity on that part? What do you mean by
I think
the team Jamaica Algrims was out coached?
So, in my opinion, I thought Coach Pellegrino from Haiti recognized that we could press our center backs, press our our CDMs into mistakes. And one of the things that's clear into the game, they were going to run at our right back until the wheels come off. They knew Javon Brown has had issues against Mexico, has had issues against Guatemala, and you just run at him until he broke down.
But that never happened. That never happened in the game. Me not understand,
I think
the goals then were scored.
In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
they were able to exploit our right back on a couple of occasions. Tell me if you saw something
right
different.
back. Did Javier lose any 1v1 or he was just high up the field?
Javier caused the second brown, the second goal where he didn't attack the player. He stayed off and the pass came in. So Javier wasn't aggressive to go pressure the player, right?
Cranky. Hold on.
Yeah.
Even if he had all right. What if he had stepped towards the player? He might have closed down the zone,
force the player to the baseline. Force the player to the side, to the line.
That not always work, Cranky.
Most times it does, because the line is a defense for you. If you come in the middle, you have options. See Rashford against Arsenal. See Gray against what's the name the other day. You can't allow the player to come inside. Then they had the whole right corner to pick up, find a player.
Cranky.
Yes.
Javier Brown was running from half line to catch back the player. Remember,
Javier was in front of the player, coach.
All right.
He's in front. No, he got back and he was in front of the player.
You just brought up the exact.
So that may I tell us,
Coach,
him run back and get in close down the player. Him close down his space. So the ball that came across, somebody should have attract that player.
Gentlemen.
I want to touch on a point first before we move on.
The ball back,
There's another point I want to touch on before. Neil asked a question which wasn't answered. But go ahead. Neil asked a question that wasn't answered previously.
Question?
No, he made a point around what is style of player system of play the coach is employing. Wasn't that part of your question, Neil? Or you couldn't see it?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I think I was going to say quickly that I saw that there was a changing tactic. And having gone to the World Cup and watched the games, I thought that the way we were playing there was better. So when I saw how they played against Honduras and how they played against Haiti, it seemed to me that we regressed and were worse off than we were during the World Cup. That's the point I was making.
Look, there are a couple of things. Stars makes fight, so better opponents gonna not allow you to play how you want to play. Secondly, I heard Martin O'Neill said something the other day. Who played for Ireland, who coached Villa, who coached Celtic, who coached Ireland. He said, "We're international coach. You don't have time to do much. You want to employ a system. This is not a club team where you can employ a system of play and you have time to put your system in place, get the right players for your system. You don't have that time to do so." What he basically said, which I find interesting, was most of the time what you do is you're leading, you're building camaraderie, you're building cohesiveness, you're building collectiveness, you're trying to get the team to rally around each other. And at the same time, you may go out and do some other stuff, but it's not like you have a very informed, well-constituted way of playing where you have a system, you can instruct the players, you have time to put them in and to keep rehearsing and rehearsing till they get it to a certain point. Which I thought which is my thoughts about how I view international football. And all these things we think an international coach is going to do when he or she has limited time, I don't think that's reality.
So the point is that Rob Smith, Peanut, Brown and Bell all watch the runner came into the box, and that may I say the man slipped the ball back, which was what the attacking player, because what Javian did, Javian closed down the line of attack, so he might have to play the ball back.
Javian a back up. He might back up.
Coach.
Sorry, coach, but me I said two different things, coach. He might back up.
So cranky. He was backing up.
Are you guys hearing me?
Hold on.
Yeah, we hear you, Devon. We're making a point. We're coming in. Sorry, Devon. Sorry.
Cranky. The ball a back up, but you cannot blame him alone for that.
No, we're not blaming him alone, coach. But I'm saying he's the first line of defense.
People are saying his defensive line get break down.
No, because low. You know what? Let's not. Sorry, Devon. Sorry, coach.
Anyways, go ahead, Coach Devon.
All right.
Yeah. Coach, is there any way you can find that goal and put it on the screen?
No, me can't.
You can't.
No, me not.
Because here's the thing. Yes, Javian Brown gets there, but at that point in time, he couldn't dive in. If he dive in, it might have been a penalty. So he's buying time. So he's holding up the player by jacking the player. Where is the second and the third defender?
Thank you very much.
Come to his aid. It's always this. You concentrate on three defenders. Pressure, cover, balance. Now, Javian didn't pressure the ball because he didn't want to dive in. So he holds up the player.
But Devon,
for the second player to come in and
to add to the point that he might block the line towards the goal too. So
exactly.
If he wanted to shoot, him couldn't shoot. That's why he slipped back the ball.
If the second player had stepped in line, it would change the play totally. But he did not. So you cannot blame Javian alone for that play. I watched it over and over, and I looked at it, and I said, "This is where the breakdown happened."
Me blame Damian Lowe if he never gave him the ball initially, and I try to run through the man and lose the ball. That's so me blame it.
So coach Menzi, this is what I said that how Grimson got it wrong coaching wise. When you have Lowe and Brown on the same side, on the right side, against teams that run like Haiti, right? That they run at you, they come at the channels, that's where they get exploited. One of my biggest concerns over these two games is when Lamakisi couldn't make the trip because he picked up a knock. Lamakisa, am I saying his name? Dexter Lamakisa.
Lembikisa.
He is 2-footed. Lembikisa. He used both feet. He uses his left foot or his right foot, and he can adjust his body either way. And if you look at our games, when he's paying right back, teams must attack us differently. So it's not necessarily a knock on Javed, it's a knock on the tactics, how the coach lines them up.
Who is the person on the phone?
You talk to Dwight Spence, boss.
Okay, Spence. All right. I'm gonna ask a question here. As a matter of fact, 2 questions. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of beaten for these questions. How long is this coach at the helm of this Jamaica team?
1 year.
When did he
1 year.
took over the team?
Last year this time.
No.
1 year ago.
No. Just go back and just go back.
Team,
Nope. He did not start the job September.
He never start one game in September.
He played the Argentina game.
He was hired on this date last year.
This year,
yes, but when did he take up?
A contract
start
in January, but in coach
exactly.
So
okay,
1 year.
Exactly. Hold on, no. It was a total different team. Listen, gentlemen.
Hey,
listen.
No, Devon. No.
Listen, I'm willing to take the beating. And here's the reason why I'm willing to take the beating.
No, Devon, no. May I stop you? I'm saying if me start a job and me get probation or whatever the case may be, I may officially start January. Me can say me start a 1 year ago, me get the job. But me start work officially 4 months after. So me can say a 1 year.
Yeah, where your probation start the active job.
1 year, man, start coach a team.
He got appointed, but he didn't start the job. You have to remember that. Listen,
it's not. So you go coach one team. In care one team go play Argentina. A 1 year now.
You mean that team was given to him to go and play Argentina?
It doesn't matter. So he should not have gone.
Okay, all right. Listen to this. You remember he says
hold on.
He does not think this is the game. Hold on, gentlemen. Listen, I'm willing to take the sticks, but you have to
what the point of this?
Cut him some slacks. Listen, he's getting to know his players. The players are getting to know him. We're still at a teething stage. We don't even start creep properly yet. Okay? So we have to cut the coach some slack. There's players coming in. Remember, coach, we had a reunion, and I said to you, gentlemen, it's gonna take a year to a year and a half for this team to start coming together. And at that point in time, the qualifiers gonna kick in.
I wanna look on his screen before no chat to me. I wanna look on his screen.
Okay.
Put up this Devon Porter coach. Look at the screen. Fresh God and everybody else in our comment section. Happy 1 year anniversary. You can tell me now, no?
Yeah, because of the Argentina game. Right. But so he did not. Hold on. No. Okay, how many games have he coached Jamaica? How many games?
Devon, you're being disingenuous.
No, I'm not.
There's time to prepare. Hold on. There's preparatory time to build your database. That's what we told they were doing between the Argentina game and January.
And you expect, hold on. And you expect all of that supposed to be ready, furnished to go at this stage.
It was being done.
Months into the program.
A year into the program. But I am not saying again. So coach,
months, gentlemen. It started January.
Devon. We don't have to go down. We don't have to go down a rabbit hole because the facts are there.
Listen, I will go down the rabbit hole anyway.
The coach Minzy, put
1 year. This man a coach a team.
Coach Minzy.
Yes, sir.
Right, it's 1 year. I would have to argue, and it is there in black and white. Coach Minzy has provided the evidence, and at that kind of thing you can't sound lock off, but we're not lock off Coach Porter. Coach Porter, I want you to go back. Hold on, man.
The Argentina game was a one-off game.
Hold on. I'm saying to you that coaching coaching a game is not the only thing a head coach does. In between the coaching of a game, you yourself, listener yourself said that coach have other things to do. 1 year. But Coach Porter, what you did not say when you were speaking about Javed is you said a player should come. I want you to say it clearly. The CDM should come and be tracking back and doing some of the covering. Not a random player, not the striker, not the attacking midfielder. The CDM has a role to play in coming back and doing the covering when somebody is pressuring and jockeying the player. Cataract, you're spot on. You're right on that one.
Gentlemen, here's the thing. Here's the thing in football. It's not everybody play with that CDM. Everybody just get this CDM thing.
We play with a CDM.
It's saving grace.
We play with a CDM. We have played with it since Rudolph Austin. We have played with it with Javon Watson. We play with it with Anthony Grant. We play with it with about 15 man after Grant. We have been trying to find and play with a CDM. So that don't mean everybody don't play with a CDM.
Here is what I'm gonna say, and this is final. It's still a work in progress. You got to cut the coach some slack. Give him time. He's getting to know his players. There are players coming in, new players coming in, probably new players gonna go out. You got to give him. Yeah.
The point of the argument, I don't know when.
But our fingers, listen, our fingers is pointing in that direction.
No. You are just picking a. No, Devon. You are just picking a straw. Devon.
You read the rule wrong.
The entire argument was about Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey.
Yeah, and that changed a long time because when I came in, I wanted to address the free kick thing that Cataract was going off on. That free kick does not take randomly. These things are done on a training pitch. These are professionals. You know who takes it from the right. You know who takes it from the left. You know who takes corner kicks from the right. You know who takes corner kick from the left. You know who takes free kick from distance.
And okay, Leon takes all the free kicks.
Cataract, we clarify.
No, Cataract. No.
I'm gonna take the right sided.
No, man. I'm talking about on the side of the field. Hold on, Coach Mincy. Hold on now. Damari Gray took a free kick that led to the goal in the Gold Cup. True or false?
Was on the right side in the Gold Cup when Nana headed in. Yes.
True or false?
Yes.
In the same game, we got another free kick from in and around the same position. Was he allowed to take it, or did Leon Bailey step up and take that free kick?
But how do you know that they don't work it out? Says, okay, you take the first one and I'm gonna take the second one. So these things, because I'm a coach, and
so if a player takes a free kick,
I am thinking like a coach.
Asking a question, man. I am not a coach. I'm asking you.
But I'm telling you, I'm thinking like a coach.
So I'm asking you to think like a coach, and you are saying as a coach, you say, listen, my two players. Damari Gray, you take the first kick, and it works well, and it scores. Don't take anymore. Leon Bailey, you start take them.
No, you don't tell them like that. That Cataract, before you take the field, all that is worked out. So if you think that happened in that instant, you're wrong, because no coach would do that.
Okay.
These things are already worked out from the training pitch, already documented.
Let me ask you then, was it documented that when Jamaica got a penalty in the game versus USA, because they had 9 days, they were in Jordan, that when we get a penalty, Mikel Antonio is going to take the ball and put it down to take the penalty. And when VAR goes to look at it, Leon Bailey must take up the ball and then go take the free kick. Was that worked out? Stop
Maybe.
trying
I
to
don't know.
be
We don't know.
indefensible.
Okay, we are not on the training pitch. We don't know.
And
Maybe.
neither are you. So if we were on the training pitch, it's either one of
So you're saying that
either one of the two players are indisciplined. Okay.
Anyways.
It's either one of the two players are indisciplined. It's either in the case of the penalty, it's either Michael Antonio was acting ultra virus and going to take a penalty that he was not supposed to take, or having set to take the penalty and being told to stop while the referee goes and checks the VAR, another player, and there was no intervention by the coach. There was no intervention by the coach. All of us who were there in the stadium saw that there was no intervention.
Because it might have been worked out, Cataract. That's what I'm saying to you.
Gentlemen, we're going to close the show now because this argument ain't going nowhere.
No, we're not arguing. Here's the thing that I want. Coach, here's the thing that I would like to bring forefront. The National Stadium pitch. It's a disaster. And before I came on?
No, we thought maybe put all the picture up on the people themselves.
Well, we need to continue it every day. Listen,
no, we can't.
It's in a deplorable condition, and you should not have had professional players coming here to play 2 games 4 days apart.
We have seen worse in the Caribbean, though. We have seen worse in the Caribbean. So Jamaica feel a little bit better.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Jamaica is a team that been to the World Cup. We know better, and we should have been doing better. You can't compare Guyana with Jamaica when it comes on to football.
That now bring with no.
Pitching Guyana is good. You talk about the one in catching all.
We need to speak about the pitches, man.
Anyways, the show is going to be closing now. We can't talk about the pitch right now. You know, say I work morning for coming tomorrow.
Good night, coach.
You understand? So big up yourself.
Yeah, man, we have to go on. Good night, coach.
Big up Qatar.
All right, do it.
Big up Qatar. Big up Qatar. Big up Cranky. Neo was on. Big up everybody who came on. Thanks for the support, guys. Big up yourself in the comment section. On your way out, please hit the like button if you have not done so. Stay safe. Until next time.
Cataract, stay where you are.
Style flavor, make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.